Hello to all beings who are watching the channel right now. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome to Auto Aim Off. I will be doing live commentary playing Outriders and discussing why I believe Outriders is an excellent title with excellent gameplay, excellent physics, excellent loot, excellent gameplay systems, and I personally, in my personal opinion, believe this game to be excellent. Let's get into the review. Basically, Outriders was a title that was released, I believe, 1 or 2 years ago, and I have been playing it ever since release. I am stuck at level 35 currently, full disclosure. Basically, it's a third-person shooter, and it is made by the same team that made Gears of War, and the same team that made Bulletstorm, the incredible cult classic. It is an incredible title. The way that the enemies are designed in terms of the art, the way that the gameplay is in terms of the very Japanese style of arenas. You know, you complete this arena, you go to the next arena, these little raids they have, you know. This is absolutely amazing in my opinion. The weapons are incredible, they feel great, and also we are playing with the auto aim off. That is the main thing about this live commentary, why it may seem a bit tense. I am playing with the auto aim off, and I am doing live voiceover, so I am playing this game as I am doing the review. Here's the proof: the aim assist is indeed turned off. So there are my settings, and there is the aim assist off. We will proceed with this review. As I was saying, Outriders is a game that has been out for, I believe, 1 or 2 years now. I very much enjoy the title. I think it's a great option for anyone looking for a third-person shooter that is fast-paced and, most importantly, ability-based. Yes, the firepower is absolutely important in Outriders. The firepower is fun to use, it's fun to shoot the guns, and it's fun to, you know, absolutely use the firepower and the different weapons they have, even the pistol. Here, let's use the pistol. I'm sorry about that. You know, even using the revolver is fun. The firepower is great in it, but the main thing about Outriders is the abilities. You have 3 abilities, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, much like modern RPGs, where you have your main abilities, obviously more than 3, but you have your main abilities at the bottom in as much as items, weapons, melee weapons, or projectile weapons are important. What is much more important is the abilities in titles like this, and Outriders is the same. As you can see during gameplay, I'm doing some shooting, I'm using firepower, you know. I will brag a little bit with the auto aim off, I am definitely using my firepower, but I am essentially relying solely on my abilities, and that's why I like Outriders. It is a third-person shooter that is ability-based, and that's about it. It's a third-person shooter that's ability-based. I see valid criticism about the game, I just do not have any criticism personally about the game. Outriders is a very controversial title for many reasons, and I can see why there's controversy. I personally am a big supporter of Outriders. I think it is an excellent game. I think the community in there is amazing. I have met nothing but welcoming people who have showed me how to do raids, how to progress, even though I'm stuck at level 35. I think it is an absolutely amazing title. I respect the criticism around it, I really do. I think that, yes, you know, there are things that people find in it, and I can see why they don't like that. I personally don't have anything about the game that I do not like. I know that might be a controversial opinion, but it is my opinion. There is nothing about Outriders that I do not like. I think it's great. I was a huge fan of Gears of War. The entire series, I played 1 through 5. Loved Gears 5, loved 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 is my favorite, I would say, Gears of War 2. I thought that was the best one. I'm very excited for that entire remaster they're coming out with. Apparently they're going to remaster the series. But getting back to Outriders, I think this is a great title. It's a third-person shooter that's ability-based. You know, you go to one arena, go to the next arena. Reminds me of the Japanese games, the Gundam games, where, you know, you would have very linear arenas. You kill the enemies in this arena, move on to the next one. Clear the enemies here, you move on to the next one. But I love that. I love that very what would it be called? Meticulous gameplay, grinding gameplay. I don't mind the grind in Outriders because I enjoy the core gameplay. As you can see, I'm using my abilities mainly. It's an ability-based third-person shooter. I think it's excellent. I think they did a great job with it. I do understand why it's a controversial title, but I personally am a huge supporter of it. I think it's a great title, and I think everybody should try it out. They have some great sales on it every now and again. And I would also like to speak about the World Slayer package. I think that's a great addition. DLC is a controversial topic in this day and age. I am personally a supporter of DLC. I respect that others may not be supporters of DLC. I respect that maybe there is certain implementation, certain ways in which it was implemented, the DLC, that people might be upset with. I respect that. I am not upset with any of those ways in which the DLC was implemented. I think the World Slayer DLC in Outriders is an excellent addition to the game, and I think it's an excellent opportunity to support the developers of the game. I don't know if I'm going the right way. I'm not going the right way right now. So we will proceed to the right over here. And basically, getting back to the review, I would give Outriders a 10 out of 10. I would like to confirm that. I would like to give Outriders a 10 out of 10 from my channel Auto Aim Off, currently playing the game without the auto aim on. I gave proof of that at the beginning of this video. Going back to the score, I think that this game is a 10 out of 10. I think the art design is amazing. I think the game mechanics are amazing, and this may offend people, but I think the grind is amazing. I really enjoy grinding different arenas, grinding different enemies, learning different enemies, the little quirks of where you have to dodge for each enemy in like a Dark Souls type of way or something. I really enjoy that process. I respect that others may not enjoy that process. I personally enjoy that process in Outriders. I think it's a great title, and I give it a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed Bulletstorm, and that is what made me most excited to play Outriders. When I heard it was the same team that worked on Bulletstorm, I was very excited. And here and there in Outriders, you can kind of see how it was the same team. The art design in certain places and in the gameplay, the over-the-top aspect of the story and whatnot. The story is a big thing I have not talked about yet, and that I would like to talk about. Basically, the story in Outriders is a bit non-existent, and that is okay with me. I recognize that modern games have changed a great deal. I have no problem with these changes, and I respect why others have problems with these changes. Yes, I have great memories of playing incredibly in-depth, story-oriented games that also had incredible gameplay. Things change. Life changes. And I am okay with that. I respect if others are not. I enjoy games that do not have a significant story as long as they have great gameplay. Another controversial title, Anthem. I loved Anthem. Getting back to Outriders, I recognize the story is non-existent, and in my personal opinion, on the opinion of the Auto Aim Off channel, I would like to say that I very much enjoy Outriders. I think it is an incredible title. I respect the controversy around it, but I personally do not see anything wrong with the title. I like the way the DLC was implemented. I love the gameplay. I love the gameplay loop, the gameplay mechanics, and I really like the way the enemies come at you, how you're able to, not too easily, you have to kind of coerce them, but you're able to group them together so that you can more efficiently use your abilities. You can line them up so that they'll be clustered in there, so you can use an ability to take out 10, 20, 30 of them at one time. The combat in it is just unparalleled in terms of fast-paced, ability-oriented, third-person shooter. I think Outriders is an amazing title. I respect the controversy around it. I really do. But I do not personally have any criticism towards Outriders. We're moving towards the last area now. This area will be intense and it will be difficult. Another system that I've not yet discussed in Outriders that I personally would like to discuss is the fact that the health system, the risk and reward health system, it is an intensity that is unrivaled. You are able to go from 0 health absolutely 0.25, you know, half a health bar, to so much more. You are able to go from a half a health bar, a quarter of a health bar, a tiny amount of health, to a full health bar just by clearing a few enemies. That risk and reward system adds an unparalleled intensity and an unparalleled level of, I don't know, just moment to moment fun. You know, you can be about to die and then you take out a few enemies and you are back to full health, you know? The risk and reward system is amazing. I don't know if that's been in other games. I'm fairly new to video games. If it has, you know, the game that pioneered it, respect to them, but risk and reward is amazing in Outriders. It is incredible. We will be clearing this last group now. The risk and reward system incentivizes you, even if you have low health and you feel like you may die soon, to go to the front line, grab a few enemies, your health will be regenerated. It is not a cover shooter, and if it is played like a cover shooter, and people who may expect it to be a cover shooter will be very disappointed. It is a movement-oriented, ability-oriented game. It is, and I'm sorry for you know, misspeaking or stuttering and all, because you have to keep in mind this is a live review. I am playing live right now with auto aim turned off. I'm just gonna show that again as the enemies come to kill me. Auto aim turned off, see, as I die. No, we're not gonna die. So basically, I'm sorry if I'm unable to, you know, speak extremely coherently. I don't see too many people doing this on YouTube, doing live gameplay commentary reviews of a game. You know, they'll cut up a game and edit it, and they'll do some commentary over it and, you know, do a review on it. But there's nobody doing a live gameplay while they're doing a review. So this is my live gameplay review. I'm a pioneer, I guess. Maybe I'm not. I'm probably not. Anyways, getting back to Outriders. I think it's a great title. I think it's a great title. It is personally probably my favorite title of the last few years. I have played it so much since its release. I think everything about it is great. I really love the community. They've been nothing but welcoming. I do matchmaking sometimes, but I usually do solo games. But on the few occasions that I've done matchmaking, I've had only positive experiences. Again, I'd like to say that I understand why this is a controversial title, but I don't see anything wrong with it personally. I think it's an awesome title. I thoroughly enjoyed it through and through. I anticipate to hopefully keep playing it for many more years to come, you know, as long as my health is in good standing. So I will now continue to what I believe is the last area. We will grab some ammunition and we will now continue out of this gate here. Now, I would like to add that Outriders is not lined up for a sequel right now. I would very much enjoy an Outriders 2. I know because of the controversy there might not be an Outriders 2. If there's not, I would very much enjoy, at the very least, another DLC. That might be even more controversial than an Outriders 2, another DLC, but I would very much enjoy another DLC if there is not going to be an Outriders 2. But that being said, there's so much content to go through in Outriders. This is 1, 2, 3 games rolled into one right here. And although many people would want that at launch, you know, you have to respect that the developer needs time. The developer needs data and experience, you know, from the launch and from player feedback. You can't expect a finished product with these modern games. You know, there's so many little elements that go into their creation and that go into their upkeep, into their updates, you know. So many things need to be taken into account, and people just want the finished product. You must keep in mind, it is not an overnight thing to build a game. Look at Cyberpunk 2077. That game had an incredibly difficult launch, and now it is on top of the world. That is how modern games launch. Times change. Yes, it used to be that you get Gears of War. You know, you get Gears of War 1 or 2. The disc is there, everything's on it. It's a classic. You know, I'm not saying looking back it's a classic. I'm saying upon release, you know, the story's perfect, the gameplay's perfect. It was a different time in gaming. Times change and innovation happens, you know. Many people would say it's stagnating, it's not innovating. I believe this is innovation. doing updates on a regular basis, doing DLC that expands the game on a regular basis. I think the core player base does enjoy these things. Anyways, getting back to Outriders, I do believe that this is a 10 out of 10. I think this is a great title. I think anybody looking for a solid third-person, ability-oriented shooter will absolutely love Outriders. I also think the classes in Outriders are very varied, you know. They have a poison build, they have a tank build, a power build, a melee-focused build, you know. I like the Trickster because it's teleportation focused, and you have things like stasis, and you know, you can do things like the time warp like that, but to each their own. I think the classes are great. I think the enemy design is great. I think the different types of enemies are great, you know, from the trash mobs right here who swarm you to the more advanced enemies like flying insects right here. You know, this is incredibly varied enemies with incredibly varied gameplay mechanics, you know. There's not one enemy that you can fight the same way as the next enemy. Look at these ones that stand off in the distance and they just do ranged attacks, you know. There's so many different types of enemies in Outriders, and just remember, this is live commentary with auto aim off. Auto aim off, you must keep in mind. So this is the last section right here. If we make it past this, we survive. But I would just like to reiterate, I think Outriders is an incredible title. You can see just how intense this is. This is just incredible right here. So I think it's a great title. It's a Japanese type title to me, you know, like these hectic RPGs over there, fused with the very Western elements of, you know, third-person action shooters, first-person action shooters, you know, because culturally, big games, you know, the games that are big are different in each country, so I see it as more of a Japanese type game, you know. You go area to area, and you clear out enemies. That's basically it. It's ability-oriented, it is loot-oriented, and I very much enjoy it. I respect the controversy surrounding it, but I think it's a great title. I think anybody looking for a fast-paced, third-person shooter in 2023 should play Outriders. That, beings of the universe, that was the video for today. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I appreciate you coming to Auto Aim Off. There will be more uploads with more commentary, with more reviews on different games. Outriders is just a personal favorite of mine. The next video might be on Gears of War 2, possibly Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries, some of the greatest games, okay, that have been released in the last 20 years. We will be doing some retro reviews, but mostly modern reviews. Again, I'd like to say I think this is an amazing title that everybody should try out. It's on sale at several points on Steam, on Xbox, on PlayStation. I'm on all 3 platforms. Okay, so I would just like to say I played this game on all 3 platforms. It's great on all 3 platforms. I think everybody should try it. I think it's a great title, and I would like to thank you all for coming to this video today, and please have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. Please have a good point in time in your life. I'd like to thank you for coming to the video. I'd like to thank you for watching the video. Peace be with you, and just stay strong. Thank you to all of you, and this has been Auto Aim Off, giving Outriders a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Thank you, dear beings, my friends. Goodbye.